Well, hello, that random stranger. Thanks for tuning in. If you don't know me, my name is Monica. Nice to meet you. I go under the name of Mania Art Studio in this YouTube channel and my other social media. Please feel free to check me out on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and all that jazz. Right, so in this video, as you can see by the title, I will be flipping through my Inktober 2017 drawings and just talking about my experience. And also just a quick note, if you want to just go ahead and see all of my Inktober drawings in one place, I highly recommend you check out my description box. I'll leave a link to my Instagram, so please give me a follow, check out my drawings, let me know what you think. And please stick around till the end of this video if you are interested in what kind of pens I used for my Inktober drawings, because I will have a little show and tell at the end of this video. Right, so I don't want to make this video too long, so I'm going to just move along. This is the sketchbook that I decided to use. It's just a random notebook that I found in a supermarket. As you can see, I customized my notebook a little bit, like I have my little cheeky logo there. My really good friend made these for me, and I'm just sticking them everywhere, and I thought it looked nice and dandy. So that's just a little Inktober thing that I wrote. So day one prompt was Swift, and as you can see, I do have timestamps on there. So the prompt was Swift, and I didn't know it was a bird. I almost drew Taylor Swift for day one, because that was the only thing I could think is either movement or Taylor Swift, really. Anyhow, right, so day two prompt was divided, and again I kind of struggled. I wanted to make something more original. It's one of these drawings I'm like not proud of. It's kind of cute. It could be a cute idea if properly done, but yeah, that's just divided, like two divided fruits, Mr. Apple and Mrs. Orange. I don't know, don't ask me. For day three, this is where things started to pick up for me. Prompt was poison, and this one is heavily inspired by Raw Beauty Christie here on YouTube. Now day four was underwater, and of course I kind of went with the obvious. I drew a mermaid. Moving on to day five, this is one of my favorite illustrations in this book. The prompt for day five was long. At this point I saw so many people doing Witchtober instead of Inktober, so basically they were drawing a different kind of witch every single day, and I kind of wish I went with that Inktober, but you know, whatever. So if I thought of any idea where I could draw something Halloweeny and witchy and scaly and spoopy, I would do that. I really like this illustration. Right, for day six, the prompt was sword, and I went with a tattoo looking illustration. I kind of struggled throughout Inktober with some of the themes because we're like so painfully obvious, and I was kind of torn between, oh, should I come with something really original and out of the box, or should I just draw the obvious? Sword is a sword, you know what I mean? So I did want to make it a bit more interesting. I didn't want to draw a person holding a sword, if that makes sense. I just really wanted to draw like a tattoo looking drawing. Okay, so for day seven, oh god, this is another one of those I'm definitely not proud of. The prompt was shy. I just ended up drawing this like cute anime girl like blushing, and she's like receiving this love letter, and so it's like kind of shy moment. All right, okay, let's move on. So for day 8, the prompt was crooked, and I wish I would have come up with something a lot more interesting than that. That could be interesting if done well, but I definitely didn't do a good job. And my battery died. But anyway, for day 9, and I went with the screeching little bird. So there you go. Alright, so day 10. I'm quite fond of this one. The prompt for this one was gigantic. Right, so for day 11, the prompt is run, and again I drew. By this point I was still catching up, and I drew this one the same day I drew this one. And for run, I went with a cute little mousy running on a little wheel. I'm someone who struggles to draw animals actually, and I think that this one came out quite cute. Okay, so for day 12, prompt was shattered. I pretty much drew a shattered portrait of this crying lady, or it could be, you know, a mirror that's shattered, stuff like that. It's kind of like a bit open to interpretation, but yeah. And on day 13, again, at this point I'm still catching up. The prompt was teaming, and I was like, what the hell is teaming? So I don't know, so I just googled it, and a lot of fishies in the ocean came up. So I kind of modified that idea, and I just drew some whales. So yeah. On day 14th, girl, do I love this one. Prompt is fierce. Day 14th, this was, I don't know, I just stumbled upon this website called Regal Rose, I believe. And they're kind of like this very alternative, witchy looking website, and they had this like beautiful model with this like this hairstyle. I pretty much use her as a reference, and I was very inspired by it. Right, for day 15, again, I'm still catching up. This one I drew on the 24th, and the prompt is mysterious. Oh my god, this one. Day 16, prompt fat. I kid you not, I was so tempted to just take a big fat black marker and just write me and just be done with it. But that's a sea lion, if you couldn't tell. Day 17, prompt graceful. I'm proud of this one. I love the way the hat came out. I thought of that cats are definitely graceful animals, and again, as I said, because it's approaching Halloween by this point and stuff like that, I wanted to draw something witchy, spooky, and Halloweeny. So I went with the enchanted, graceful, witchy cat. Yeah, let's talk about day 18th. The prompt is filthy, and I drew this one the same day I drew the cat. And yeah, if you can't tell, which is very obvious, this is Filthy Frank. I kind of took a liberty to do a play on words, because you know, filthy and Filthy Frank, you know, go figure. I mean, yeah. Okay, let's move on. For day 19, the prompt was cloud, so I kind of took a twist on it, and I went with the ice cream when I added a little happy sun in there, and I think this came out really cute. Okay, and for day 20, the prompt was deep, and I just wanted to draw this weird fish that probably exists somewhere like deep there in the ocean. Day 21, prompt was furious, and I was drawing this on the 27th of October. So still behind, still catching up big time. The only thing that kept coming to my mind is just like a furious player, you know, people who play games and get like really angry, and I might be one of those people, and I might not be. For day 22, the prompt is trail. It's like a froth, and there's like a tiny little kitten going over there and just leaving a trail of footsteps behind him. Okay. Oh god, another one I'm not proud of. For day 23, prompt was juicy. You know what I mean? I went with the juicy watermelon, which doesn't even look like a watermelon. Let's talk about day 24, prompt blind. This is like my take on a blind woman that has like a third eye, and this is one of the illustrations that I'm definitely proud of, and I love the way like those shadowing and scratching came out, and I just love that the amount of detail I could add onto this. On day 25, again, this one came out better than I expected, especially when I didn't use any type of, you know, I didn't sketch it out, didn't do anything about it. I just love the way this one came out. Is this little sailor girl? Yeah, she's wearing like a sailor uniform and stuff, and it has like a little ponytail and this cool ship, and I feel like it kind of almost has a story behind it already, and I absolutely love this. This was day 25. Prompt was ship, so you know, hence the ship on the head, which is, again, ship is a ship. It's like quite obvious. For day 26, the prompt was squeak. This little mousey in this like big piece of cheese that has like big holes, and it's like in there just squeaking, very happy. I think it came out cute. For day 27, the prompt was climb. I just imagined, like, you know, when a small animal goes up the stairs, it's kind of like a little journey for them. So I gave him a little backpack and he's climbing up the stairs basically. For day 28, prompt was fall. This one was also done on the same day than the previous one was, and I just kind of played homage a really old school story for Alice in the Wonderland. So for day 29, prompt is united, and I drew this also the same day. I drew this one on the 30th. I was just on fire, girl. I was on fire. I drew all of these in just one day, and I guess you can kind of tell I kind of burned out on this particular page. My mind just went to this, you know, a couple, maybe after being apart for a long time and stuff like that, and that may be or may not be inspired by a real event. But at this point I already finished binge watching the second season of Stranger Things, and you should go watch it as well. What are you doing? And for day 31, I drew this on the last day, just before going to work, and the prompt was mask, and I thought this is very, very Halloweeny and very, very appropriate for the day 31, so I just went with this dude. As for the drawing supplies, as I said, I didn't use an actual ink, but I used a few different types of ink pens. And the first one is Zing Mangaka Flexible Pen. These are made in Japan and I absolutely love these. If you want to see me use them in a video, I will link that below. But these are absolutely amazing. The pigment is really dark, dries quickly, doesn't smudge, and in the video I used watercolors over it and it did not bleed whatsoever. So if you can get your little mittens on these pens, I highly recommend you do that. So this one I'm showing you right now is the smallest one that I own out of all the pens that I have, and it's a Unipin fine line in size 0.05. I don't know if you can get any smaller than that, but I love this one for adding tiny small details to my drawing. So these ones I'm showing you right now are drawing pens from WH Smith brand. I bought them as a pack and they came in 4 different sizes. They're not impressive, but they're quite alright. I tend to sketch with them a lot. The pigment payoff is alright, but yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to finishing them off so I can try something else. So this other one is Koi Coloring Brush Pen in black from Sakura, and this one was the biggest struggle and disappointment from all of the pens that I used. I wanted to use this one to color in big spaces of black where I needed to in my ink illustrations, and it was coming off so streaky and not really that black, so I was very disappointed. For a coloring brush pen, I feel like it should have performed a lot better. And by the end of Inktober, this pen is pretty much dead. And it's weird because these pens are new and I only use them for Inktober drawings, and it wasn't even used in every single one. And I definitely didn't get a good use out of it for it to be dying on me by the end of the challenge. It's just really sad. So the other one that I used was a Zig Clean Color Real Brush from Kuratake, also made in Japan, and I used a light gray to add some shadows. And these are really fun because they have an actual brush instead of a nib, and it's really fun to move them around, and you can use a tiny bit of water to kind of dilute the color or make it fade out or make it blend with other colors. I did use these pens in 2 of my other drawing videos for Emma Blackery and Kiara Rose. I'll link those below if you want to check them out and want to see me use them. And to wrap this up, the last thing that I used for my Inktober drawings was a very known white pen in our community, which is Sakura Jelly Roll, and you just use that to add little tiny details like shining the eyes and highlights and stuff like that. I would probably prefer to use a white ink in the future, but it's quite handy for just adding quick detail. But yeah, that's that. Thanks for hanging around. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.